Hello, Professor Gemmell, CSC 380. This is Daniel Bazan from Artificial Intelligence. Today I'm going to be taking you through my baby name generator that I've created for assignment 4. Basically, it starts off with user input. It holds the gender that we want, male or female. That's going to open up either the boys or the girls' names files. We have the minimum length, the maximum length of like the size of the name that we want, and then the amount of names. The way I did my probabilities is I used these two maps of strings and integers, char2 and char3. Char2 holds up the character combinations of the first two letters in the word. So for example, S and T, and then char3 would hold all the counts for all the letters that follow S and T. So for example, we're looking at how many times does A follow S and T when we store that value in char3db. Our program really starts with, once we get all the input, the chunk of our code is in here. Since we know we have 1,000 names, we will go through the edit database, which is taking all the names from the text files, and then we just added the dashes at the beginning and end of each name. We would get each name and put it through a function called getLetters. Here it holds each of the character in each of their positions, and we concatenate into a string called 3 chars. So for example, we're looking for how many times does A follow S and T. We would add S, T, and A together, put it into 3 chars, check to see if it's in our char3 database. If it's not, we add it with a count of 1. Otherwise, we would just pull it each time and just increment and put it back in. And that's how we got our numbers for each of the like the third letter following the first two letters. Once we get through all the 1,000 words, names, we use this for loop to sum up all the rows. So earlier when I said that we're looking for A following S and T, we would take the S and T, put into this string over here, and then we would iterate through this for loop to check how many times did A appear after ST, B after appear S and T, etc. We would add each of their counts, all their values into this counter, as long as they're in the database, and then finally at the end, the sum of the rows will be added with the char2 string. This is what we use for beginning and end name. If we know that it starts or ends with the dashes and they're not equal to double dashes, we would add it to beginning and end name, depending on whether it starts or ends with a dash. So this is where it shows like dash A, dash B, dash C. So we would say the first letter of the name has to be A, B, C, and so on. Once we get all of that, we're actually going to run our actual name creator. It's over here as a while loop to check, as long as it's the new names which stores our all the new names that are generated, is the size of it's not equal to the number of names that we wanted. We're going to iterate through this char3 database and the letter map to determine our names. First, we start off getting the beginning of the name. So we would check all the how many times does like dash A, dash B, dash C appear, and we're gonna add each of the we're going to add the k amount of letters into the string called number of chars, which is going to be used as our kind of like random value generator. So for example, if the dash A appeared 20 times, meaning that there's 20 names that start with the letter A, we would add 20 A's to the string number of chars, and then we would take the length of it and then here add it to string size multiplied by the random value, and this random value is going to check to see like we're going to take the random value and then we're going to get the character at the string that has all our concatenated letters, and then we would add just concatenate with our new name string. Since we have to compare it to the name database that has capital letters, we capitalize the first letter of the name. And I also added this these tests to show that to ask if the user satisfied the names, as long as it's between min and max length. So as long as the new name so far is created is not is at least the size that we wanted, it's not in the name database, and it's not in the new names that was created, then we move on here. As long as it's not bigger than the size that we wanted, we're going to ask for user input, see if they're satisfied with their names. If they are, then we're going to break through the entire loop and then check to see if we have all the names that we wanted. If not, then we create a new name. Otherwise, we're going to take the same name and then add another character at the end of it. Basically here, if we were to get our second letter, for example, so we have -a, we will pull each of the each of the letters from letter map, which just stores our alphabet, and then if dash, for example, if -ab is in the chart tree database, we would get its number, and we would do the same thing, add a k amount of b's that follow a into number of charts, and the same thing is here, except that instead of using the dash, we just take the strings from the last two letters of the name. So we would take the char at if the length was 3. So for example, if this would be our third letter, so we take the length from position 1 and then position 2, add that with the new letters to make the kind of like the char 3 string, and we do the same thing, get this number and then increment how many times, how many k, like we would add the k amount of like letters into number chars. We repeat this entire process, and once we're satisfied with the names that we want, we add it to new names, and that's pretty much just my code. And then we're just gonna run it. Let's say we want the voice file, at least 3, the size of 3, the name, and then the next is 6, and we want to print 2 names. So we have B, BR, and BRE. Are we satisfied with BRE? If we say no, we go on. It gets the next name. We still don't want that. Brain's okay, so I guess we can add that. And then it's going to start the next name. So we have PRE. I don't think we like that. Let's just say that we don't want to max it out. So once we reach the 6th a size of 6, we're just going to say the max language string, and then we're just going to add what we have. So we have green and prender. Not necessarily the best name combinations if you ask me, but that's just how the program works. Let's try it again with the girls' names. Let's do length of 4, and then max length of 6, and then let's do 4 names. Let's do too much time. 2 names. We have Mackenzie. Sounds something like Mackenzie. Yeah, no, Nikki. We can add that to our database. We have Gia, GN. And then again, we go through our max length, and then we have these are the names that are created for the girls' names. So that's pretty much my entire code, the way my entire name generator works. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave a comment. Thank you so much.